Hello, Gabbers, and welcome to another episode of Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
And my name is Carolyn.
And this episode is a Vanderpump Rules filled episode with topics ranging from who Lala has blocked on Instagram to Jax Taylor's intervention and everything in between. We are talking so much Vanderpump Rules tea, it made my heart happy. We're also talking about Southern hospitality. The trailer just dropped, so we're getting all into that. We are talking a ton about Real Housewives, Beverly Hills, Orange County, New York, and Salt Lake. This most recent episode of Salt Lake was crazy. We had a lot to say about it. So listen to this episode and you can hear all of that and more.
And more.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Actually, hello.
Hello. I am big, I am strong, I am healthy, I am alive, I am a woman, I have brown hair, kind of blonde now. Welcome to Girls Unscripted, everybody. My name is Carolyn.
My name is Kate, and I guess we're doing mantras today.
We're doing mantras because it's again the morning.
Okay. Yeah, we are. This is a morning recording.
And we've got to get some confidence and blood flowing through our veins. So let me hear some mantras from you, Kate.
I am safe.
You are safe. You are so safe.
I am free.
Very free.
And I'm really cold.
Freeze. We did not mention that.
So if you hear a slight humming in the background of our audio, it's because we were like, look, we're not turning the heat off. And before we forget, because I feel like we always forget every time we do a hiatus, and like, we'll be like, we'll talk beforehand, like, oh, we're not going to do an episode this upcoming week. And we're like, great. And then we'll record the episode before that week. And then both of us are like, oh, fuck, we didn't tell people we were going on hiatus. So next week, the week of Thanksgiving, we are not going to be recording an episode. Just so you all know, we're still alive and well. We just aren't here on Girls Unscripted.
Drunk with our families, eating birds.
Yeah. I'm going to a Thanksgiving party that supposedly, it's like a Friendsgiving. They spent hundreds on meat.
Just meat, period?
It's like two boys that they love to chef around.
Oh, do they smoke it?
Well, I don't know what kind of meat they're even buying. The theory is that we're going to be eating duck.
Oh my God, that's like Southern charm.
Which I kind of don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not a big duck person,
like,
I'm going to be honest.
Just give me the turkey.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even care about the turkey anyways. I'm a stuffing girl, which is going to be tough with my new gluten-free lifestyle.
Oh, that's going to be really hard.
But I think someone's going to make gluten. You can make gluten-free anything, and it honestly tastes the same.
Just bring the Tums. Tums? Is that what helps you? I don't know. What do you need in that situation?
I just kind of raw dog it. And hope for the best.
I just pray.
Pray
till it's over.
I say, sorry, Dan, I'm going to be farting tonight. You chose to date me. And that's how we are.
Oh, sweet dad.
So I started telling Carolyn a little bit about this before we recorded, but I was like, I am just so exhausted today. Because yesterday, really cool thing, I gotta say, I got invited to go to the TikTok Creators Summit.
Oh my God, what is that?
I'm still trying to figure it out personally.
Okay. All right.
It was 8 hours of like networking, seminars, speakers.
How many creators were there?
Honestly, maybe like 200 to 300. Like when I showed up, first of all, I was stressing that I was going to be late, and I show up and there's a line around the block. It was at the Hollywood Athletic Center. Which,
naturally,
don't be fooled. I guess it's an event space, but like my Uber driver is like, so what kind of, my Uber driver is like, so what kind of sports are you going to be playing? I'm like, fuck if I know. Like, I'm in heels, so I hope none. So yeah, the line was super long. So we waited in line for like 30 minutes just to get in. And I went alone, and I was nervous because I'm like, okay, look, in the grand scheme of things, I am a way smaller creator than like half of these people. Obviously, like everyone there had over 1 million followers, mostly. There are a lot of people that I met.
It's crazy that there are like 200 to 300 people that have 1 million followers.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like,
or
what
like
does
they
fame
at
mean
least
these
had
days?
like more than 500K, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm in line, and luckily it's because it was a bunch of like content creators. Everyone was very like, hey, what's up, man? How are you? What's your name?
Right.
What kind of content do you make?
Oh my God, it's like putting a lot of like comedians in a room together. It's just exhausting.
Yeah. But I appreciated it in the very beginning because I was like, I needed that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in line with Leon, Kurt, and Raven, my 3 friends I made in
Do
line.
I know them?
No, I didn't know them. They all have like 1 million followers. The boys have like 2 to 3 million. Kurt, gamer bro. He literally was wearing a vest that had a patch with his handle on it, and on the back it said content creator, and it was filled with all these like pins. Like, he was a gamer bro.
What was his last name?
His name's Kurt Tucci. I only remember because he had the patch.
Kurt Tucci. No,
at
okay.
Kurt Tucci or Tochi. I don't know, something like that. The other guy's name was Leon. And he was like such a like TikTok boy with like the fluffy hair.
How old was he?
I would say early 20s maybe.
Nice.
And he like was like, yeah, I run a content creator house and he's a
Oh,
singer,
no.
but he was like dressed all cool and whatever.
No.
He had one of his teeth, it was like a tooth gem and it was like a cross.
Nice.
And like then the other girl that was in line with me, Raven, super pale, black and purple hair, fangs. She's a cosplayer.
Yes.
I was like, this is the most eclectic group of people. And then everyone kept being like, so what do you do? And I'm like, I just like gab about reality TV. I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
but I fucked up because people kept saying like, what do you do? Or what kind of content do you? No, they said, what do you do? And I said reality TV.
Oh my God, everyone think you're on a show.
I realized at the end of the day, everyone thought I was on a reality TV show because then I like elaborated with someone further and I was like, yeah, like, well, I mostly talk about like Vanderpump Rules and they go, oh, you're a reality TV commentator. And I'm
That's like when Alexis Bellino asked me, oh, and what show are you on?
right. Well, I'm like, never in my mind would I think they would just assume I was on reality TV,
You
but
very well could be.
Well-
you very well could have been for the past 10 years or the entirety of your life.
yeah, I mean, I've met I
Yeah.
met so many people that just had such niches. Like this one guy, his
Carve out your niche, everyone. You
literally
heard it here.
I mean, there was a couple people that were like, oh, I just do like lifestyle content, but
Nice.
okay, so I did like speed dating for content creators where you just like had 4 minutes of you like talking to a creator and you had like these questions they were supposed to ask them.
How many followers do you have?
Yeah, I should have.
What's your
but no,
niche?
it
How'd
was
you get
just
there?
like, what's your For You page look like? What's an average day in your life like? Like, what's your favorite kind of content? Like, I don't know. It's just like stuff like that.
I love this.
I spoke to 3 cosplayers in a row.
Nice.
But after a while, I'm like, how much? I
do
already
you
know
remember
everything
their
there is to know.
names?
No. But yeah, so it wasn't until the very end of the day that I finally met someone that did reality TV.
Who was it?
And their name was Lesbian Speaking.
Cool.
They have like 500 followers or
That's a gr-
500,000 followers.
That's a great handle.
And I guess
Lesbian speaking.
they like, yeah, I know. I kind of love it. And I think they mainly focus on like TLC shows. Cause I was like, so what's your bread and butter?
Oh,
And they're like,
God.
Sister Wives and 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, hell, I would love to talk to her.
Literally, Carolyn, I could have talked to this person forever because they were like, yeah, I've had some lawsuits against me. Or I've had people try to file lawsuits against me for some of the things I've said on TikTok.
Would she come on the pod?
Maybe. How did your speaking go?
Oh, it went great. I completely lost my voice.
Really? Okay, so to remind everybody, we talked about it last episode, but Carolyn spoke at her alma mater.
I did. I spoke at the University of Virginia, McIntyre School of Business, and it was so fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I love to hear that.
And I thought I'm just so honored that they asked me to speak. Apparently, she was given a list of people.
Oh, wow.
And it was my former professor. And it's the professor that I said when I'm coming out to, I went to LA on my spring break, 4th year, senior year, to see if I would like to live here because I'd only been here once very briefly. And I went to this professor and I said, I'm going to LA. I don't know a soul. Can you introduce me to people? And she gave me my first networking.
That's
She
amazing.
started me here. And so now
Aw.
she was like, I want her back. And it wasn't anything to do with entertainment. Well, it was, kinda. But it was cool.
Does that professor still teach there?
Yeah, no, it was her class.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
That's really
and
cool.
she looked, talk about staying young. She looked just as young.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's that Virginia water.
That Virginia water, baby.
I don't know much about Virginia water, but
It went great. And of course, I saw my pediatrician, AKA my father-in-law, AKA my plastic surgeon. So I did get some filler in the lips. They're a little bigger than I want right now, but they're
actually
swollen.
think they look fine.
They're swollen. They'll
Yeah.
go down. I
Yeah.
promised. I'll promise.
Yeah, everyone that's like judging, can you just like keep your opinions
you
to
just
yourself?
not?
Can you just
Jesus
look away?
Christ, like a girl
Focus
just
on
wants
her
to
new blonde
live.
hair.
Yeah, which I'm trying to hide the grays. I'm trying to hide everything.
Do what you want, but just know aging is beautiful.
Aging is beautiful.
All right, let's get into some reality TV stuff. We did get a trailer for Southern Hospitality. Did you happen to watch it yet?
Didn't watch it.
I watched it late last night. For those of you who have never watched it, my hottest take might be that I think Southern Hospitality is like the most underrated show in the Bravoverse.
Wow.
I think it's very underrated. And I felt the same way about Summer House Martha's Vineyard, but they already canceled that one.
Wow.
It just gives me old school Vanderpump Rules vibes. It's like a bunch of young people working together and they actually care about their jobs and they don't want to lose their job. And that's why I like watching it. Like there's real stakes in this show.
Yeah.
it was a bit of a slow burn, but season 2 really spiced up for me. Like I just really like it. So the trailer for season 3 dropped. This will be a spoiler, but it's in the fucking trailer. Apparently, this is for anyone that watches. This was a shocker to me. Joe Bradley and Maddie Reese got married in Vegas, like, and it was real, and I guess they're dating. Kind of weird. But the big
Whoa.
You know who they are. They were in season 1. The DJ girl and the guy that was with Danielle from Summer House.
And Luann.
Well, Luann, I guess, is out of the picture. Yeah, but yeah.
They're together.
I guess.
I mean, I've only watched the first season, but that was the like long.
It was a very like will they won't they, like Joe was like obsessed with her, and I think it was a classic case of like he was the nice guy and she wanted the bad boy.
Yeah.
It seems like they're together, and a lot of people commented on my TikTok confirming like they're together.
They're married.
Well, in the trailer, they got married in Vegas, and Grace Lilly's like crying at the ceremony.
Oh my God, Grace Lilly is there.
Yeah. So everyone comes back for season 3 except for O'Sheen, who he was only there in season 2. He was the guy that he would pour milk all over himself for OnlyFans. I was kind of surprised they didn't invite him back. Lucia, they didn't invite her back, or I don't know if they didn't invite them back, but they're not coming back. And Mikhail, he's not coming back either. Joel McHale. Yeah, Joel McHale.
Can you imagine?
And they're introducing, I think, 3 or 4 new people. And I'm pretty sure one of them is related to Darius Rucker. Her name's Lake Rucker. And her bio is like, coming from a affluent family or a famous family. And I'm like, and then I look up where Darius Rucker is from, and he is from Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh my God.
So I think she's related to Darius Rucker.
That's hilarious. What a flex.
Yeah. So basically, this is my PSA that like, if you're not watching Southern Hospitality, there's only 2 seasons to catch up on. I think it's worth it.
There's still only 2?
Yeah, I mean, this is a trailer for the 3rd.
Oh, wow. Okay,
and,
you can totally catch up.
And if you don't like Leva, that's okay.
She's not in it.
She's barely in it. Yeah, she is barely in it.
She's not in it, so don't worry about that.
It's barely even her show.
I feel like they kind of forced plot lines to get her in it. Of like, okay, can you like fuck up so like you can talk to Leva?
Can someone like be mad at Leva so like we can have some drama? Please? Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Southern Charm is airing December 5th, so like that's really exciting. It's just we've got a lot to look forward to.
There's so many housewives on right now.
Okay, yeah. So we've got Salt Lake, New York, Potomac, and Beverly Hills.
And
Orange County's done.
I think they have one more part. I mean, but technically it's still on.
Did you watch Beverly Hills?
Oh, did I, honey?
See, I didn't.
I watched it twice.
You did? I heard it was so good.
It's so good. I know you haven't caught up all the way, but
okay. You can let's tell us a brief, like, what was the tea from the episode? I keep hearing about Dorinda driving down the canyon smoking a cig.
Dorit.
Or not Dorinda, Dorit.
But
the fact that I confuse those two is actually illegal.
I know that is actually like, did you see that like chart on Instagram that's like, where would you sit on the plane for Bravo thing? I would be in between Dorinda and Dorit. That would be such a great pairing.
Mine, I wanted to be in between Phaedra and Madison LaCroix. That was an option.
Well, Dorinda and Dorit weren't an actual thing. I was going to be between...
Oh, you're just choosing it. Okay.
I was going to be between Jesse Solomon and Meredith Marks.
That was my second one, too.
Oh, man.
But you know what? I actually think that would be so fucking awkward. like I don't think we would have good conversation at all.
Oh, I think you or I would ham it up. I think we would all like be out of there with inside jokes.
Yeah.
And in it.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And just because I love her, because we talked to her and she was so nice.
Okay, you sit between Meredith and Jesse. I sit between Phaedra and Madison, and then we talk about it on the pod.
Phaedra and Madison is that is a force.
I would not get a word out.
Yeah.
Because I would just sit in the middle and let those two talk to each other and just be like basking in it.
Yeah, that's true. You can just like observe and soak in the glory.
But okay, tell me about Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay. So the main tea that's happening is obviously we've had the charade of Kyle Richards having this friend Morgan for all this time. She still doesn't, and for God knows what reason, I don't know what she's holding out for. She still will not just say, I have intimate relations with Morgan.
So what are they like? What's like what are they asking her about and she's denying it?
Well,
like, why is it brought up again?
It's brought up again. Actually, she brings it up because it's the first episode. So, the first episode is always awkward because the last time they all saw each other was the reunion, and they usually all hate each other by the end of that. So she felt like she had a lot of explaining to do. She felt like she was in a lot of press. it is way too late. But she had the audacity to say, you know, there's all speculation about me, and I'm not going to say her name because it's not my story to tell. You've had her on the show,
and she's talked about her by name on the show and
you
in
were
the reunion.
A sexy music video with her where you were the love interest. Like, just
that to me shows that this Morgan bitch was like, you know what? Actually, I know I said I wanted to be on, but I got my fame out of it. Don't fucking talk about
I
me.
think she's literally just and that's what she said. She's like, it was very emotionally distressing. And Garcelle, you have to know
I know
Garcelle.
who she is. Yeah,
she is a very just blunt. She tells it as it is, and she's like, "Are you together?" And she's like, Kyle says, "No, it was very that all the press was very emotionally distressing." I was like, Kyle, calm down. Here's the other thing that's happening. Everyone's kind of turning on Kyle.
Yeah.
Because it's always been Kyle's show. She's run everything.
Hot take from me. It's about damn time. Kyle is the reason that, and I hate to talk shit, but like, that I couldn't watch Beverly Hills anymore. I couldn't stand her, man. It's like, it was the Kyle show.
I think I would be friends with her IRL.
Okay.
I think she's a loyal friend, but I do think it is all about her.
Yeah.
And end of discussion done.
Right.
And so
she's a bit of a victim.
She's a bit of a victim. So there's that. That was actually kind of like a sub storyline. The big one was the relationship between Dorit. Well, two relationships. The now not relationship with Dorit and her husband. She's separating from her husband, which was a big deal because everyone speculated it. Everyone had rumors. And on the reunion, Dorit dug her heels in the ground and was like, "We're better than ever, blah, blah, blah."
When someone says they're better than ever, that's a tall tale sign. They are worse than ever.
They are worse than ever. And on Amazon Live, Kyle essentially, and it was literally the opposite of the reunion. Literally the opposite. On Amazon Live, Kyle basically said, Dorit has exaggerated our friendship. We aren't that good of friends.
Okay, I did hear that.
Which I personally would be so offended by. Look, friendships are different for everybody and on each side of them. I mean, you're going to have best friends that for each other, you're a best friend. You're going to have best friends where it's, I'm your best friend, you know, and you're going to have everything in between. So for her to just literally say on camera, Dorit exaggerated, we're not that close of friends, and then expect anything out of Dorit to be nice is beyond me.
That's fair. I also feel like that's such a cop-out for housewives, and they do it a lot, where like whenever they're held accountable for something, they're always like, well, we weren't even that close anyways. It's like, we all have eyes and we've seen you. Like, you guys actually were kind of tight.
They went out with their husbands together.
Didn't they go on like a vacation together?
Yes, and Kyle was like, well, we only went on one, maybe two vacations together. And I was like, that's closer than most of them. Like,
maybe when you're rich though, going on vacation is just like kind of going to lunch.
It's just another weekend. Whoa, did you see me hit my knee?
Oh, did you just hit your own reflex? That's kind of
reflex.
fun when that happens.
That was kind of crazy.
Well, now you know you're alive.
Yeah, I am very alive. And so Dorit and Kyle talked for the first time in a long time, and Dorit's fucks have flown out the window. They are in the valley back where her ashes are from the cigarette. Like, she's driving, she's smoking, she's dragging. And when she talks to Kyle, she is just like, gives it to her.
Hell yeah.
And we've never seen this side of Dorit. I mean, we've seen Dorit be angry and want her way, but we've never seen her A, turn on Kyle, and B, do it so, I don't know. I loved it.
With no fucks given?
With no fucks given. God, like
Which, by the way, just based off what you're telling me, good. Because it seems like Kyle has made it abundantly clear she doesn't give a fuck about Dorit or their friendship. No. So why should Dorit? Like, I feel like as a fan, did that feel validating to see Dorit act that way?
I think so. But look, Kyle has her own story. Because Kyle said, well, look, it really hurt her feelings at the reunion a couple reunions ago when she was sitting with her sister, Kathy. And you know they have a very tumultuous family dynamic.
Okay.
Kyle was crying, Kathy, I mean, it was the whole thing. They were arguing, and Dorit kind of tried to put her head in saying, well, I think, Kyle, what she's saying is like, if you could just acknowledge some of the accountability. And then Kyle was like, shut up, Dorit!
You don't understand how me and my sister are. I can hear her saying that I don't even need to watch it.
She was like, I don't want you in this. Get out of it. And ever since then, I think Kyle just turned on her and was like, I hate her. And then on Watch What Happens Live, after the friendship thing, after Kyle had been like, and yeah, we're not friends, she was asked on stage with Kyle next to her a shady question of rank the Richard sisters.
Okay, first of all, that's an insane question.
Such a shady question,
Yeah.
right? And so it's either drink or answer it. And Dorit starts to go to drink, and Kyle is so offended that she is like, Dorit, this should be obvious, and like
Yeah.
smacks it out of her hand. And Dorit was like, oh, I was kidding, but like obviously, well, because of that, now you're at the bottom. And so she used it as a joke.
Yeah.
But Kyle was really, really offended that she was
Kyle's a
jokingly
bit
go for the
sensitive,
drink.
a bit
And
sensitive.
so now craziness. But now PK and Dorit are no longer together. Mauricio and Kyle are no longer together. It's going to be a very interesting season. And now I think Sutton, we see teasers of her going against Kyle. And then we have a new castmate, Bose. Her name
Bose?
is Bose. I don't know if that's her first or last name.
Okay.
I need to look
I'm
up.
into it.
But she was CMO of Netflix and like a ton of other big companies. So they call her, Kathy Hilton was like, hello, boss. And they were like, Kathy, it's Bose. She's like, boss. And she's like, I think she's calling me boss. It's okay. It's okay.
It's like, do you guys get this
You're
joke? This hilarious joke? Hello.
So I think it's going to be a really interesting season with a lot of drama.
Okay, well, it's a
The
good way to
tides are
start. I
turning.
like that. I really like that.
Yep.
I want to talk about something real quick, just as a follow-up, because last episode I gave you kind of the brief recap of Brittany talking about Jax on the Bravo Hot Mic
Yes,
podcast.
yes.
So that episode came out on a Monday. Then on a Thursday, wouldn't you know, Jax has his own Bravo Hot Mic
Yep.
podcast episode. Basically to be like, everything Brittany said like is actually not true, and here's like what it was like. It was just so much back and forth between the two of them. It was a lot. So basically, I'm gonna make this quick because it's Jax, and it's like,
Yeah,
if you
it's
want the
like
full recap,
same old, same old.
visit me on TikTok. But basically, he talks about how even though, so Brittany was with this Julian Sensley guy, and we had talked about that a little bit. Jax said that like Brittany was still like going over to Jax's place, and he makes it seem like because they were hanging out, but I'm sure it was because they're like fucking co-parenting. And he found on Brittany's iPad naked photos of herself that she sent to Julian, which, by the way, none of your fucking business. You guys are
she's
separated.
allowed to do that.
But she was also sending him like photos of Cruz, which I guess like pissed Jax off.
Why?
I don't know.
He knows what Cruz looks like. If
I
they're
guess it was like,
friends.
look at my cute kid. I don't know.
Why would that? But that's
Well, maybe
crazy.
because it's like he's not his father. I'm his father. I don't know.
It's so weird.
That just pissed Jax off.
Of course it did.
Jax said that the reason he went to the mental health facility is because his friends gave him an intervention.
Good.
And he didn't want to go, and he thought he was going to walk in and he was going to be in a padded room surrounded by people in straight jackets, which is I don't doubt that he really thought that. Really, he was like, I was in a beautiful mansion, and it was great.
Oh
and
god.
I loved
Rehab
it.
in
and-
Hollywood is nice.
Yeah, he was like, I loved it. I did 7 hours of therapy. He said the reason that he was rage texting Brittany while he was in there is
Ooh,
because
I can't wait for this.
she wouldn't bring Cruz to visit, which I'm sure there was a reason for that.
Okay.
He did say that the two people that reached out to him the most while he was in the mental health facility,
Let me guess.
you'll know one,
Sandoval, and the other one.
The other one was kind of surprising me, but not a cast member on Vanderpump Rules, but has appeared on Vanderpump Rules like a couple times.
Kyle Chan.
No, close.
Who?
Jax's mom.
Aw.
And he kind of hinted that like there's a world where him and his mom might like
Oh,
rekindle.
that's
like,
nice.
which I am like, at the end of the day, I always felt like it was a little weird
Yeah.
why he just stopped talking to his mom. So we'll see. He said his mom has never met Cruz, but she's seen photos. Like, I'm sure she would like to meet
That's
her grandkid.
great. I mean,
He also claims that Brittany still texts him, invites him over for dinner and drinks, and tries to hook up with him, which then Brittany responded and was like, that is so not true. I am trying my best to co-parent with him. Like, let's get one thing very fucking clear. Like, we do not hook up. So she denied that. Again, back and forth. Then he said, when it comes to Britt's bar, he not only is a silent partner, but he's also an investor, because she opened her bar under his like LLC, I guess, Jax Taylor Incorporated, which I'm like, girl.
why?
So he's like, she's going to be able to do anything she wants. Like, I'm just a silent partner, and I'm just going to take a cut of the money. I'm like, she's not going to be able to do anything she wants. It's going to be, Brittany, this is under my name. This is my reputation.
Yeah.
So
that's
good
really sad.
fucking luck with that. He also reveals he's opening 2 new restaurants, one in Florida and one in Nashville, I believe.
What?
So you might have to go.
Welcome, Jax.
Yeah, I think he said Nashville. I know for a fact he said Florida. He said Cruz has never once been to his new place, which he's lived in for a couple of months.
Okay.
And he was even like, and I tried to tell Brittany, like, I would install cameras if that would make her feel better. Like, seems like there is a deeper reasoning that we don't know about as to why. He admitted that Brittany is a full-time single mom. And that Brittany has full custody of Cruz. Yeah. And that he basically has to ask to see Cruz.
Well, there's probably a reason for that. Yeah.
And then lastly, like the other big thing was he gave the audience a warning about the Valley season 2 and was like, please just don't judge me too much in the beginning of the season. Please be easy on me. It was really hard for me to watch. It's going to be really hard for viewers to watch. Like I was really bad. So what we know for sure is that season 2 of the Valley starts off after like a huge blow up that Jax has, like worse than ever before.
Worse than ever before?
Supposedly. And
I don't even know what that would mean. Because light something on fire?
Because I think he ends up going to, well, he admits like he was like throwing shit around the house, and he even said in the interview like, thank God Cruz was upstairs. Kind of giving Taylor Frankie Paul vibes. Jeez. But he was like, I got so upset. I think it was because he found these texts from Julian Sensley, maybe. I think that was it, where he just got so upset he lost it and was like throwing things. And I don't know that he had ever gotten physical in that way.
Yeah.
And I think that wasn't on camera from what I understand. But it happened like a day or two before filming. So we see the fallout of that. And then I'm pretty sure he goes to that mental health facility very early on into filming.
Yeah.
He also says he got special permission to do vlogs in the facility. So I bet we'll see his time on the Valley, like inside the facility.
Oh, interesting.
I think the Valley season 2 is going to pop the fuck off, baby.
When do you think it's going to air? I asked you this last time. I think you said like in spring.
I think in the spring. I talked to this guy I met. He is another reality TV influencer. His name is Louis Levanti, and he was saying if he could guess, because he's actually being, as we speak, my new friend Louis, flown out to Bravo Fan Fest to do like interviews for people. I'm like, that's really cool.
Ah, so cool.
But he was saying that he feels like the winter is always the southern shows. And then the spring is when we get like the Vanderpumps, the Valleys, and then the Summer House.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I just can't wait. I do think it's like we're not going to get it. I would guess earliest March or April.
Yeah.
But maybe without Winter House, it could be sooner. Who's to say?
This is a great segue into, have you heard about the rumors of the filming for Vanderpump Rules?
Oh, yes. There was like someone that spoke on a Dumois podcast. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which would actually, if what they said is true, make sense because it kind of combines all the things we've been hearing.
Yeah.
So essentially that they were saying the cast, and this again is a rumor, the original cast is coming back for 3 weeks to film. And just 3 weeks. It's normally, 9, 10, however much it is. So we'll get them to have a goodbye, a wrap up, a see you later as they transition it to the next cast of Vanderpump Rules, who will take the baton and run with it forward. Which would make sense because I've been hearing both. There's a completely new cast and that they're in talks with the original cast. So this would make everything nicely together. Just curious if your thoughts on that.
Well, didn't this person also say everyone wanted to do it, but Bravo doesn't want to pay them? Was that a different?
I don't know.
I think honestly, dude, there's so many rumors swirling around. It's hard for me to figure out where I'm hearing what. I also heard someone say that everyone wants to do it. It's just it's everyone's 12th season, and Bravo doesn't want to pay everyone for that amount of money. But I mean, Kyle Richards has done how many fucking seasons of The Real Housewives?
Don't get me started.
It's Vanderpump fucking Rules. It is a household name reality show at this point.
Yeah.
They'd pay it. I don't believe the money thing that's swirling around.
But as you say that, I'm doing the numbers in my head and I'm like, well, shit, I guess it is a lot of money. There are so many cast members on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
And if they're all asking for 7 figures in their contracts, that's going to be half your entire budget right there.
Oh my gosh, wait. Speaking of Vanderpump Rules news though. Oh wait, I'm getting off topic. My thoughts are, and then I have to tell you something else that I've just brain blasted. My thoughts are, I don't give a fuck until I see a trailer.
Yeah, okay.
There's so much drama like coming around. It's like I don't know what to believe, but that makes the most sense.
Yeah. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. And it does seem weird to me, though, that like there's been all these rumors swirling and it just took one woman to go on a podcast to be like, oh, let me tell you exactly what's happening. Like, let me clear things up. It's like there's a reason things haven't been cleared up because people aren't allowed to talk about it. So I do have a bit of like, I'm a bit suspicious of this girl just going on a podcast willy-nilly, like spilling the tea.
Suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Well, this bitch was suspicious. She was a bit sus. Okay, this is brief, but I heard on Scheana's podcast, I just saw a clip. She was like venting
I saw this too.
about Schwartz's girlfriend.
Oh, no.
Oh, she was venting of like, sorry, Schwartz. Like she was saying this. She wasn't talking to Schwartz, but she was just like, bitching. She was like, I want to be closer to Schwartz and I want to be closer to his girlfriend. But like, sorry, Schwartz, I don't have much in common with your 24-year-old girlfriend. I don't want to be hanging out at Schwartz and Sandy's at midnight on a Saturday night. Like, and I've tried to put in an effort. I've tried to invite them over for dinner. She doesn't want to come over for dinner. And you know what, Schwartz? Like, if I'm putting in this effort to meet your 24-year-old girlfriend, you need to put in effort to get to know Summer Moon.
Fair.
But then all the comments were like, Scheana, not everyone is as obsessed with your fucking kid as you are. Seemed like she was pissed.
Yeah, but there's still, it's funny. I'm in a writing class and we were talking about this exact thing. There's still an expectation of if you have a friend that has a kid, you should be at least moderately interested in that kid's life. You know, like.
I think she wants him to be texting her like, how is Summer Moon doing? And maybe this is so wrong of me, but I'm just like, boys don't do that. Like boys don't think to do things like that.
Yeah, well, they're just stupid. I mean, they should, but they don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
Especially not Schwartz. I don't know. I just like, it was interesting to me because it was the first time we ever really hear someone like kind of talk shit on Schwartz's girlfriend because she kept saying, your 24-year-old girlfriend.
Oh, I feel like anytime she's only been mentioned in like she seems nice, like,
fair.
You know,
she's
like
fine.
She's okay.
Yeah.
She's 24.
Yeah.
But okay.
Wait, what's the thing you heard on Scheana's podcast?
I was referring to Scheana talking about Lala and Jess.
I just saw that this morning.
Yeah. So Scheana was answering a question about the Jess and Lala situation of Jess leaving Lala's podcast without saying anything.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, real quick, sorry, just before you go, Lala's assistant Jessica, we talked about this on our pod. Never mind, I think.
Yeah.
Who has been with her forever, quit very mysteriously, and everyone's like, "What the fuck happened?"
Right. And so she quit without saying anything, and Scheana just had her girl Lala's back and was like, anyone be lucky to work with her. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I did a TikTok live the other day and that's all people were asking me. What happened with Jess? What happened with Jess? What happened with Jess? I heard, and I don't know if we talked about this, that it maybe was political.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And maybe that's just suspicion, but it happened like quickly after the election. And I think Jess.
You don't. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what people think, that they voted differently.
Okay.
And Jess didn't agree with the way that Lala voted. That is a theory because Jess then went on Instagram and was like, said something very mysterious, but like, we have different beliefs or something like that. So
yikes.
I don't think we'll know until about, a year, 9 months and 25 days when her NDA is up.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So we'll
let
see.
the countdown begin.
Speaking of Lala, man, we have a lot of Vanderpump Rules news today. I actually
Yeah.
love it. This is my last VPR thing now. She was on Watch What Happens Live, which the fans were like, people really hate Lala. We're like, why is she on Watch What Happens Live? Like, we're so over her. Andy asks Lala where she currently stands with like a lot of different Vanderpump Rules cast members, and they go down in a line, and he says, Ariana, Katie, Sandoval, Kristen, and all of them. She's like, we don't talk. Except for Sandoval. She was like, well, he texts me. I'm just a bad texter, so I don't really respond. Which, with everyone else, she was like, don't speak. So it's like, obviously you have some sort of a relationship with Sandoval.
Yeah.
Andy then jokes, and he's like, wow, you're like really good with the group. And she's like, I've burned a lot of bridges. She says she loves Lisa Vanderpump. She says she's blocked Jax, but she still sees him because their kids go to the same school.
Oh, blocking Jax is such an interesting
Jax
twist
is always
on being
blocked, and
blocked
I'm
by Jax.
Seriously. What a plot twist. Reverse Uno card there. She loves Schwartz. She loves Brittany. And she says when it comes to the Valley in general, she's good with everyone, but she's not on a show with them, and things tend to change when a camera comes up, which makes me believe she might not be on the show that much this season.
Yeah, I don't know.
Her and Randall are actually in a very good place when it comes to co-parenting.
That's good.
Which is good. I'm happy for that. She was asked if she met Tom Sandoval's girlfriend, Victoria, and what is her reaction to her and Tom moving in together. And she did say, which made me laugh. She said, I have not many opinions about them moving in together because I think he's lived with every girlfriend he's ever had.
Yeah.
As long as we've known him.
Yeah.
He's lived with Kristen, Ariana, and now,
that's Victoria. Not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
It's just
they've all been
facts.
long-term. They've all been long-term. And she says that she's not met Victoria, but she heard that she has Sandoval on lockdown. Weird. Don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she's a controlling girlfriend. Just around all the time.
I guess. Or like maybe
has keys
she like
to the castle.
It's whipping him into shape, I guess.
Yeah.
Lastly, she's asked about what she thinks about Rachel ending her podcast. And she says, I'm happy for her. I was bummed to hear that she even was making this podcast to begin with. But like I wanted her to have a voice and I'm excited for her to go focus on herself. Pretty diplomatic answers. But yeah, hasn't spoken to Ariana or Katie since the reunion.
Wow.
Not surprised.
I'm really not surprised by anything you just said.
Yeah. But
it's like news alert.
Lala
love doesn't get along with people.
I know, literally.
Yeah.
I love how when like we created this podcast, we were going to be recapping the Vanderpump Rules, and we were like, well, what do we do when Vanderpump ends? And we're like, there's always going to be Vanderpump news.
There's always going to be Vanderpump Rules.
And here we are.
News.
Well, same and both.
Yeah.
Do we want to get into the Real Housewives?
Let's do it,
guys. I'm not going to do the sound today.
Yeah, we kind of got in trouble.
I think we got in
time.
trouble with YouTube for using the.
But
gallop.
here, I'll do it.
Okay.
Nee.
Oh, gets me every time.
Were there horses in here? My God.
That was really good.
That was spooky.
Okay, well, you real quick, even though we did already talk about Beverly Hills, we're going a bit out of order here, but you have here that there was a lawsuit settled on Orange County.
Yes, the lawsuit, as a reminder to everyone, between Shannon Beador and John Janssen for $75,000 for a loan for a facelift.
Oh my God.
Has been settled. We don't know for how much, but we know that it has been settled. That's honestly all I can tell you because I couldn't dig up anything else about it. But thank God, I think they were ready to go to court and they figured it out at the last minute, which, I mean, good for them, but also how funny would it be to see a court case about this facelift go down?
Literally.
Like, it's crazy.
Honestly, it would be like, have you ever seen Jury Duty?
Yes.
That would be like such a good plot
Remember we
line
saw
for
the
Jury
guy
Duty.
at
We did see Ronald.
Yeah, and he looks good.
He's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christy. Our friend Christy's like obsessed with Ronald. I wish I could set them up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's awesome to hear. That makes me very, very happy. And you know what? At the end of the day, Shannon looks good.
Shannon looks good, and look, she came out on top this season.
Yeah.
So good for her.
Yeah, I saw some, again, I famously don't watch Orange County, but I've seen a lot of clips, and like, even like her and Andy are kind of like kikiing. I'm using that word now. I really love that phrase. Like kind of like
kiki.
gossiping.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Like off to the side while the other girls are fighting. I'm like, I like to see that.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like
I
she's
think
an
Tamara
underdog.
was just so atrocious
Yeah.
that it made Shannon look good.
Yeah.
I think we are still overlooking some problems in Shannon's
Okay,
life
fair,
a little bit.
fair.
I do feel like fans, we get so much in this ocean of like good, bad, and we just
Right.
go with whatever it is. It's like two things can be true. Like
Right.
she might have her issues with alcohol and she might have her issues with the way she rage yells at people.
Right.
Like it can be both things. But I think all in all, Shannon did look a lot better at the end of the season. I usually find her so annoying and I found her less annoying. So
Okay,
that's
we'll
good.
take it. Less annoying.
Less annoying. The more annoying thing was honestly Heather Dubrow and the new castmate getting into blows over whether she called the paparazzi in Disneyland or not.
Right,
I
and
mean,
it's like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a flying fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with RHONY.
RHONY.
I was a bit disassociated all episode, if I'm being honest.
I cannot recall. I didn't even take notes. That shows my lack of enthusiasm. And I can't even tell you what happened. What happened?
Well, so here's the thing. It's basically we're seeing the repercussions of the best prank in the world that's ever been pranked, the pregnancy prank. Mm-hmm. And we're learning, it was kind of validating as a watcher though, because we're learning this prank was such a swing and a miss. And Rebecca and Aaron are like so giddy about it in their interviews. They're like, man, we really got them. So we had this genius idea. And then you cut to the other talking heads. And I did write some of these down because I thought it was correct. Raquel says, this certainly is not a rumor I would have started, not my type of humor. Jessel says, if I was going to play a prank on somebody, it would be funny. And Sai says, which I think is the best thing to say, I think this joke is a little tone deaf. There are 3 women who want to be pregnant. Mm-hmm. I think Aaron and Rebecca need to check their baby privilege at the door.
Yikes.
Swing and a miss on that prank. Swing and a miss.
Well, even Andy Cohen said he's not a fan of a prank. And I'm like, you're the producer of the show.
Right.
Why did you allow this to happen? And I do think it would be different if this season were an awesome season and a prank were just like another part of the chaos of the season.
Yeah.
But that's all we have this season.
Right.
This was it.
Like literally,
This was our trick.
Yeah, it's like punked.
Yeah.
We're watching punked. Like, got you, bro. Got you. It's like, dog. This is a Real Housewives. Like, not they. Could you imagine? I want a Real Housewives punked crossover now.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
There was a lot of talk about like Erin failing her own test. Like all the ladies kind of like realized like, wait, you were testing us to see who was the leaky pigeon? Like that's weird because you ended up failing your own test because you fucking gossiped to everyone about it.
Yeah, and then like Bryn was like, I was there, and then other people were like, oh well, now Erin's lying because she actually did tell Bryn about it. A complaint about mine with Housewives. We get so into semantics.
Yeah, that's so true.
So semantics can become these huge, big ass snowmen that doesn't really matter.
I agree. You're so right.
It's like, yes, Bryn did know that it wasn't from a stranger. Bryn still thought she was pregnant. She was still leaking that information to the group.
Yeah.
It's not black and white. Now there's a switch on Raquel that Raquel's like, no, I don't trust Erin. It's like they're so black and white with everything.
Yeah.
But it's like little semantic-y stuff with all of this.
Yeah, I agree. And to me, I just think it's so crazy though that like if you're going to spread a rumor about not only a girl in your immediate friend group being pregnant, but being pregnant because she cheated on her husband, because her and her husband are freaks together and Scientology allows it, who's going to keep that a secret? Really? Yeah. I mean, let's be real. It's like, sure, it needs to be a secret amongst the housewives, but like they find out Jessel's like asking around, like, is Rebecca Minkoff a freak? Because it's like, it's the new person that's entering your life in your friend group. Obviously, you're going to have some fucking follow-up questions. Like, I don't think that was a fair thing to be like, let's see who tells when you're saying such an insane rumor.
And the context is different for them. This isn't just an insane rumor of like a housewife. This is someone they're working with and that they've probably met the husband and the family and everything.
But Rebecca allowed it, which at first I didn't think Rebecca allowed it because I had that same thought of like, that's like could ruin your reputation.
Yeah, she embraced it.
But yeah, she did embrace it.
She was Ashton Kutcher.
She Ashton Kutchered herself.
Yeah.
She got punked herself. Other than that, we see a lot of Bryn and Gideon this episode.
Oh God. Well, how can I forget? That was fun to watch.
What the fuck is their deal?
I don't know. What did we watch?
Like,
that's what made it so fun.
Be together or don't. I'm confused. I mean, look, I guess it's like whatever works for them, but like they seem extremely compatible. Why aren't they just together? She wants to be married with a kid.
I'm going to say a very ballsy thing, and I'm going to go out on an audacious limb. I don't think it's working for them. I feel like if it were working for them, they would be together or not. Like, I think this is just further muddying the field. It sounds like Gideon's in love with Bryn, and I feel like this
literally do anything she asks.
Literally at the drop of a hat was like, yes, I will have a baby with you even though we're not together. Like, that's a strange thing to say, but also you can't convince me from the way that they were interacting that they don't still hook up. I mean, come on.
Okay, but if they do still hook up, now, granted, I know there's logistics to this, but like, wouldn't you think they would just try naturally first before they do the whole embryo thing?
Good point.
I'm just so confused by that.
Good point. No one says, darling, they grab champagne and they sit down at the table at the house like they're good old. Like it felt different.
Yeah.
It didn't feel just like Friends.
I enjoyed the scene. I'm like here for it actually.
Oh,
I'm like,
I'm totally down
I know
for
you
it.
did too. And like, I'm like, look, I like that the communication was there and they were so open with each other. I am just confused on the dynamic for sure. I also loved that once they started talking about like having a baby and raising a family, the child that they were babysitting was totally neglected.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where the fuck even was that kid?
Wait, whose kid was that?
It just said Bryn's friend's kid.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, is this his? So he already has a kid? Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
It was definitely production being like, Bryn, it would look really good if you were like babysitting during this conversation. Just show that you're motherly.
I can't believe that he said yes so quickly. And I wonder if they went through with that. Like, she's not pregnant now.
Here's my question. Here's my theory, actually. I think that it was a discussion prior. Like, I think they knew it was a possibility because Bryn mentions...
He didn't spit out his drink in shock.
that, but Bryn mentions she froze her eggs in London, which to me means they probably did it together. Why would she do it in London?
Well, that's another thing. How old is she?
30? I think she said 38.
38. I mean, she's at an age where if they can probably try naturally, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to.
But I'm like, freezing your eggs, as we know, not cheap.
Not cheap.
So I don't know if he helped her pay for it. If there was always a theory of like, there would maybe be an embryo.
They're in London, right?
Oh yeah, they did do it in London. So
the eggs are in London, so I assumed he was involved in the eggs to begin with.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're right. I think this was a long play from a long time ago. I don't know how the co-parenting would work.
Maybe she'd move to London. Who's to say?
Yeah, she'd be a lady of London.
She could. Or Hayu, whatever the fuck that streaming service is coming out with, Real Housewives of London.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, they're just like putting London in the franchise. That's interesting.
That's pretty much all I had about the New York,
yeah,
though.
honestly, can we move on? Because I'm so excited about Salt Lake.
I will just say a shout out to the editors and the producers of New York. I know you're all gabbers and listening. I think they did a good job following up such a ill-received episode with like, it was not like the best episode of TV I've ever seen, but it was like, I think they addressed everything that needed to be addressed. I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
Okay. Salt Lake. Carolyn literally sent me a photo of herself with her jaw on the ground after watching this episode.
I watched the Tea Party 4 times.
I got fucking whiplash from the Tea Party.
I watched it 4 times, and I still could watch it 4 more times.
I'm like, who? Wait, okay. I'm like, everything's resolved. Oh, wait, no, now you're mad. Wait, hold on. And then Brittany's still yapping in the fucking corner.
What?
Okay.
What I would give to have been at that dinner. Oh, God. Or breakfast. Sorry, breakfast.
Yeah, first of all, the fact that it was breakfast. Audrey Hepburn would not approve.
No, she would not approve of. Meredith's. We finally see the reveal of Meredith's bangs that we've been teased
Mary
throughout
Cosby
this.
said the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. She said, this is Breakfast at Tiffany's, not the Flintstones, because she did look like Pebbles.
She looked exactly.
She looked just like
and
Pebbles.
Meredith, I'm your girl. I would sit by you on the plane. Girl, I cannot defend some of your fashion choices.
The issue was she clipped them all the way back in her head.
Yeah.
She didn't
like
trim
an alien.
them. She should have trimmed them. She should have done it closer in the head and trimmed them. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay, but before we get there, and I know we're so excited to get there, let's back up a little bit because there was another crazy scene at the very beginning of Todd and Bronwyn.
I don't know what to do.
I literally
I don't know
got
what to
goosebumps
say.
just saying that because I had so many feels during it. And I just want to say that I'm coming around to you and that Bronwyn is legend.
I love her. Yes.
She's
Okay,
great.
good. Yeah.
I love her. I think she's one of the few people in Housewives that if we were in real life, I would be her actual friend.
Well, what was great is like she entered the franchise and she brought it.
Yeah.
And it's like perfect comparison is Brittany. Brittany is trying so hard. Bronwyn does not need to try.
Yeah.
She's in it. She's bringing it. Like she has so quickly found herself in the center of everything. And it's almost been like flawless. It almost feels like she's been on the show for seasons.
She's natural at it.
Yeah.
And she's been offered not offered. She's been auditioning for the show or talked for
I heard that.
Yeah, for like a couple of seasons and she wasn't picked. And she was like, well, honestly, I live a private life and I know my husband lives a private life. So maybe it's for the better.
I heard that she was gonna be on season 3 and then they said actually I think we're gonna go in a different direction and that was Monica.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Which thank God.
Because it gave the trauma that Heather just can't sleep at night about and has to just go in on Broadway.
She's literally taking it all out on Broadway. But yeah, okay, yeah. Let's talk about her and Todd. If he's speaking to her like that on camera, I think that happens off camera as well.
Well, I think he literally is of a different generation.
Yeah.
I don't think he watches reality TV. I don't think he understands it. I don't think he understands the repercussions of coming off a certain way on reality television. And I also think he's of a different generation that's how you can talk to wives, maybe.
Yeah.
Like all of it, I think he's going to look back at. I'm going to call it now. They're going to get divorced from the show.
Maybe.
I don't see how they're going to survive this. But no couple survives Housewives to begin with.
It might be interesting to see her It's one thing to live it. It's another thing to watch it.
Yeah.
And I think maybe she might change her tune when she watches
Seeing
it.
herself, exactly. And a lot of housewives say this, like, it exposes the problems that are already there. It makes you look at them.
Yeah.
And she's going to have to look at herself acting that way when he was telling her she ruined a perfectly good day, and she was so distraught and upset, and like how low she made him make her feel.
When he said she ruined the day, I felt for her when she looked at him and goes, ruined?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah.
But she genuinely took that at face value and like felt that, internalized that.
She didn't. She spoke her fucking mind. She stood up for herself. She's not a meek little being.
Yeah. And the real person who should have been sent home was who he said should go home, which is Lisa.
Yeah.
Like, she's the one stirring up all the drama. But I felt so poorly for Bronwyn in this scene.
And I also think you're right. He just doesn't get reality TV, because in that scene, she was like, well, what did you want me to do? And he said, walk away. And it's like, she can't break the fourth wall, but she's like, I physically can't walk away. I'm on the show for this.
Literally, you're on the show to have your opinions and to argue them in tough situations. And you can't just walk away. Otherwise, there would be no show. She wouldn't be on the show.
If I wasn't involved in the drama, I would be as featured as Melee.
And that's how I feel like.
Do you remember Melee?
No, who is Melee?
That's why you skipped over my joke so quickly.
Oh, sorry.
Melee has taken photos as a main cast member, and she's been in like one episode. She's like Whitney's friend.
I don't even know who you're talking
I'll show
about.
you. Isn't that insane that you don't even remember her?
No. Was she a cast member?
Just this season. We've seen her.
Are you not talking about?
She went to the
I don't even remember she existed.
She went when...
Are you kidding? I don't
remember when Lisa Barlow didn't want to go to the Miller factory, so she went curling? Yeah. She brought Bronwyn in her.
Oh, Melee was on this season.
This season.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. The fact that we have to go in this depth
of who this person is.
Yeah,
well, I didn't think that was a cast member.
She is.
Oh, she was. Okay.
She supposedly is. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, if Bronwyn separates herself, she's gonna end up being meleeed.
And she's not the type of person to authentically just separate herself. I think she's someone who wants to give her side of the story, and I think she handled herself incredibly well with the fallout from the trip, and especially at the tea party and everything. Yeah. And I think we can fast forward now, but when Heather came in hot to trot.
Dude, Heather, you need to take a chill pill, girl.
Heather, it's hard to keep defending you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Hard. I agree.
Like, and the way she just justifies it by this horrific friendship trauma. She was referring to Monica, right?
I think she was referring to Monica and Jen. And that's the thing, and we've talked about this before, of like, she has such a guard up now, and she's unfairly taking it out on Bronwyn. And I was kind of trying to read between the lines of, I think Heather's gotten a lot of backlash from viewers saying she lets people in too easily. She gets walked all over. She got punched in the face. Like, so it's like, I think now she's outwardly trying to be anti-Bronwyn when it's like, that's not what we're saying. Yeah. Like, just have your guard up a little bit. This person doesn't have to automatically be your best fucking friend. Yeah. But you don't have to just be a bitch to her for no reason.
Literally no reason. If I were her friend, I'd be like, Heather, it's as Todd would say, it's not very becoming of you to be getting in this argument, to be on Lisa's side, that it's so fucked up she didn't get a first class ticket. Like, what are you saying?
Okay,
Heather?
I have some things to say about all of this, including Ticket Gate 2024. First of all, I almost fell off my damn chair when Heather was bitching about not being invited to the event and said it was because she wasn't in a couple. No, bitch, it's because you just went into Bronwyn's house and fought with her, and you're judging her relationship with her husband. So no, Bronwyn's not going to invite you to her anniversary
trip. She
trip.
Came into the house with already like a point to prove. Like, she wasn't even there to even reconcile anything.
Right. So I'm like, Heather, you're wrong. Sorry, she's not going to invite you. She didn't invite Mary. She didn't invite Brittany. It's not like, like it was a close-knit thing. Second of all,
I think she did invite Mary. She just couldn't go.
Oh, that's right. She did invite Mary. You're right. Second of all, she did not buy Heather a first-class trip home, though. Because why would she buy Heather a first-class ticket and no one else?
Well, she did do other people. She did her.
She just did her and Todd. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe it was just her and Todd. If so,
but like, why
whatever.
would she give Heather the ticket over Angie? Over, it's like,
Yeah.
and that just didn't make sense to me. The whole ticket thing is so fucking annoying to me. It's like, you guys were on the plane for an hour.
Yeah.
But I guess at the same time, it's like they are housewives, and it's like they don't want to be seen sitting like middle seat on a plane.
Who gives a fuck?
That
doesn't make it right for them to complain. It's so horrible.
Sorry, I just kept cutting you off like
Sorry,
9
no,
times. I did see on the after show, I saw a clip. Mary Cosby did say, I mean, if you're going to fly them private on the way there, you should probably fly them private on the way back.
No, it doesn't. No, you're on the train.
I'm just saying that's what the streets are saying.
That's when we're siding with Mary Cosby, I think we have lost a little bit of perspective. I don't know.
Well, get this though, because I have this in my notes. The fact that Mary Cosby,
but at the end of it, you're right,
is the voice of reason in this fight.
I know what you're gonna say. Yep, she was.
She was.
She's
different this season. I don't know what is happening, but okay, so Heather and Bronwyn have this big fight. And actually, I did feel that Heather's apology was very genuine.
Well, yeah, but it was literally as if she were a robot and someone went behind her, just turned the switch to be like, oh my God, yes, you're right.
Wait, it's all
good.
finally clicked.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah. Okay, fair. But I did appreciate that Bronwyn was like, you know what, fresh start, cheers, whatever. And I
have a theory that apology, that was a much longer exchange than we saw.
Yeah, probably.
Because it was very wrapped. Is that a word? It was very sudden.
And then I was riding for Brittany this whole season.
Oh, girl.
She had me. And then she lost me.
Oh.
What about me? But wait, you guys are friends again. What about me? What about me? I wasn't invited either.
Me!
Girl, you're not that fucking... You just entered this group. And what I hate it, and it kind of goes back to your semantics theory, when they just start grasping at straws for reasons that they don't like people, and she starts bitching at Angie. Well, you brought wine to my church party.
Oh my God. Yes.
Like,
the wine
Angie didn't
thing.
bring it to say, let's drink it. She brought it as thank you for hosting me.
Does she genuinely think Angie had what is she saying? That Angie had the motive to go in there to say, I'm going to humiliate her.
I'm going to turn all you Mormons against God. She probably does think that. She just, in her mind, she obviously brought you the wine as a gift of thank you for hosting me.
It wouldn't even, honestly, I understand. Did you watch the after show?
I didn't.
Where Heather Gay says, it is that bad. It's as if going to your bat mitzvah with a ham and bacon and saying mazel, But it isn't like that because ham and mazel isn't already seen as a social thing people do in society anyway.
Well, and it's not like you're bringing a ham to someone's bat mitzvah because they don't eat ham.
Exactly.
It's like Brittany drinks, and I think they even said that
it's well spirited. Yeah,
I think they even said during that fight, well, do you not drink? And she's like, well, yeah, I do. It's well, it's just it's common. It's like bringing flowers to someone's house, right? Yeah. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
I don't think it was malicious at all.
Honestly, I felt Angie fighting back in that moment. I was like, Angie, you don't need to. You have this.
Yeah.
Say nothing.
Angie's been a bit too... I actually am liking Angie this season. I'm liking that we're seeing more of her. Mm-hmm. By the way, I think she's looking gorgeous as well.
She's looking great.
But she gets so worked up. She has to stand up on the table. And it's if you just kind of play it cool, you are right in most of these situations.
Yeah.
Just play cool. Let them dig themselves a hole.
Don't say, I'm sorry, you're doing 3 dudes and whatever. Oh God, you had it.
You know what, Angie,
the win was in your hand.
We were all thinking it.
We were.
It's you can't be one way and the other.
Yeah.
But
totally.
Maybe that's the issue with Mormonism.
Because I think that's the whole hypocrisy problem.
Yeah.
And then in the after show, Heather also talks about how speakeasies were always the thing. Or maybe it was in the main show. Was the main show?
Oh, because I don't know. Well, they went to a speakeasy.
They went to a speakeasy. And then Heather talks about it later about how literally in Mormon houses, they have speakeasies within their own homes.
Whoa.
One of the homes Meredith rented had a speakeasy in it because Mormons needed a place to go drink. And so they'd be all pious during the day. And then once people left, they'd go to their own bars. And
that's actually kind of sick.
Isn't
Give me that
fun?
reality show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then, as if there hasn't been enough going on, Meredith and Angie start fighting.
Oh, God.
And that kind of came out of nowhere. It was it felt like we had a good moment. And I actually did feel like that argument was done.
Yeah.
Right? They talked about it at Palm Springs. Like,
Yeah.
everyone got shit off their chest. It did not need to be re-brought up.
Yeah.
How do you feel in that? Do you think that Meredith was doing what Angie and Sean are accusing her of, like using Brooks being gay to be like, I would never out someone?
Okay, will you explain to me what they're fighting over again?
Okay, I know. It's a bit confusing. So, last season, this all stems from, you want to talk about the husband?
Right, okay.
And it stems from Meredith saying out loud on camera, whatever, that there's rumors about Angie's husband.
Right.
Or, yeah, being gay.
The rumors.
The nastiness. And, you know, apparently Meredith got a lot of backlash from the LGBTQIA plus community saying she should not have said that. Whether it's true or not, that's someone's lifestyle. Like, you shouldn't talk about that. Meredith then responded to that and said, like, I would never out someone. Like, my son is gay. Like, I would never do that. Then Sean went on a podcast and said she's using her son's sexuality to get out of this. I'm pretty sure that's the cliff notes of it.
Okay.
So Meredith is upset that Sean said that and said, like, you're using our son.
So what did Sean show that says, here, biatch, and show
what Seth showed? Because
sorry.
when they were fighting about it in Palm Springs, Whitney was like, well, what's the proof? What's the proof? And he, I think, just showed a headline of an article that said, like, Sean from Real Housewives of Saltlake claims that Meredith Marks is using her son's sexuality, like, to get out of this mess or some shit like that.
Yeah.
When Sean's like, that's actually not what I said.
Yeah.
But he did kind of say that.
Yeah.
But she also did kind of do that.
It's semantics.
Yeah.
So I think, and maybe it's because I have a soft spot for Meredith, because again,
I like Meredith too.
we talked
She's
to
our
her,
friend.
and she seemed so cool and
She's
fun.
our girl.
I genuinely think she's an ally of the
I agree.
LGBTQAI plus community, but I also think, like, she did say the rumors and the nastiness, and that's what she was referring to.
She alluded to it first.
So I think they both are right. They both are wrong. Let's move on.
And a lot, I think, is taken out of context.
Yeah,
And it's like,
totally.
and I don't believe that Meredith would use Brooks as like that in that way, because she's always been very respectful of him.
Because she is, and this was the point she said to Angie, if something had happened to Electra, you would also be very upset.
Yeah.
Because Brooks is her kid.
Right.
And you're going to be defensive and protective of your child.
Right.
So
But
totally,
she did do it. I mean, she did
do
kind of
it.
out him, and it is kind of like, is that not a cop-out to be like, I would never do that, my son's gay?
Yeah.
It's like, the two can still be,
Yeah. And
like,
I
you
honestly,
could have still have done that even though you have a gay son.
I honestly think Meredith, when she said the rumors and the
Mm-hmm.
nastiness, was so wasted that she didn't even remember saying that. I mean, I think
She was fucked
She
up.
was so messed up that I think that was more of a slip of the tongue. She doesn't really, I don't think she saw it as outing somebody. I think she saw it as they say they have this on me, I have this on them, and I'm not saying anything, which just doesn't make it right.
I think you're spot on with that.
But it doesn't make it right.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Man, great. Salt Lake, we say it every pod. It's bringing it. Give it up for you, ladies.
Good
This
job,
one's for you,
ladies.
Salt Lake.
We should host our own awards.
Oh my God,
That'd
that's a
be
great idea.
So fun.
Maybe like over like New Year's.
Yeah.
or
Like in
something.
December.
And like we'll give out our own categories and who's
Yes.
nominated.
Yes, this will be fun.
Oh my God, that's
Let's
a
do it.
great idea, Carolyn.
Let's do it.
Fuck, I'm so
The
excited.
Girls Unscripted Awards.
Hell yeah.
The first annual. We got to dress up.
Duh.
Formal.
We'll have to make sure the heat is on and ready in this
Oh
room.
God, we'll have to bring little heaters.
And we'll do when we like maybe get back from like New Year's. Like it could be at the start
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So we could
New
be
Year
together.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You guys heard it here first. See, we're really like
Yeah.
coming up with shit on the spot.
On the spot. So much going on.
That's how we roll. Reminder, there will not be a new episode after this one. We're going to take 1 week off and then we'll be back. You're going to Tennessee.
Going to Tennessee.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You're leaving tomorrow.
I'm leaving Sunday.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'll be there for a week.
That's nice.
Yeah, what about you?
Staying here.
Staying here.
Yeah, staying local.
Staying put. Steady.
Yeah.
Friendsgivings.
Friendsgivings.
Nice.
It's kind of nice to like not have anything to do.
Oh God.
I haven't had that in a while.
totally
Like
get it.
normally I've had like many Thanksgiving where my family have come here. I've gone home. I've traveled last year. My boyfriend and I went to Ireland for Thanksgiving. which was so funny because they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there. And so it was like any other fucking Thursday.
Yeah.
And we were walking around the streets and people were literally coming up to us saying like, Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh.
But I'm like, how do you know that we're American? Do we just, can you smell it?
Funny.
It was interesting.
Because you're loud and obnoxious.
Well, that's true. But yeah, I'm excited to just stay in LA. So I'll be around.
That'll be fun. Kyle's parents are coming here for Christmas. And
Oh,
I've never
that's
had
nice.
family come to me for holiday. So that'll be fun.
And you get to host a little bit.
Yeah.
That's actually so cool.
It'll be fun.
Dan and I, after we're done recording. So after we're done recording today, Carolyn and I are doing a little photo shoot, actually. We'll talk to you about it next episode. And then Dan and I are going to get a Christmas tree after this. Too.
Oh.
And I'm excited. I've never had a real one in LA.
Where do you get them in Southern California?
Get this? Whole Foods.
Really?
I was at Whole Foods
So
the
it
other
must
day.
not be a big tree.
And they were medium-sized trees for like $30.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Don't tell Kyle this. Oh my God, he's gonna want a Christmas
Oh,
tree.
you guys are going to get a group text when the tree's up.
We just don't have anywhere to put it.
If you're hosting Christmas, Carolyn, shut the fuck up. You have to get a tree. That's crazy.
We'll get a tree. We'll get a tree.
Just a little one.
I know, but I prefer the fake kind. So like
I know.
cleaning. But
You could always,
good
by the
ones
way,
smell so good.
you could always just move. Like I had a pretty small house growing up, and we would just like move a table.
That's
and,
very
like,
true.
Put it somewhere.
There-
Like you guys have
you're
storage,
right?
right?
I'm being a Grinch, and I want to be.
You are
not
being a
that.
Grinch.
I'm being the worst.
Okay, well, so let's end this.
Let's end this now.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. It's been such a great year.
I love the gabbers. I love every time in my TikTok comments, I'll have people say like, fellow gabber here. I love it so much.
Yay.
I wish I could hug all of you. All right. And then we'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about then. And until then, share this with your friends. We're still trying to grow. So subscribe, leave us reviews and comments on YouTube, reviews on Apple and Spotify.
And what you want to see and hear.
Yeah. You can also comment on specific episodes on Spotify.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So until then, thank you so much for listening. And as always, hasn't changed. I'm Kate.
And I'm Carolyn.
And until next time, bye.